Howdy. Good day. It's kind of early today, and I won't say good morning. This isn't a wake, nobody died, so I call it early day. Still got my coffee going. So this talk today is about slowing down and feeling the magic. It's also on the principle of rhythm, the Hermetic principle of rhythm. In my last talk, I went into the Gnostic tradition and how you can know something by experiencing it firsthand. Every day, each of us experiences a wide range of realities in this realm we share. As an individual, with your own unique take on life, your experiences become more unique and meaningful. Embracing the unknowns in life and facing them head on with no fear. Naturally open and curious to all of creation. As I see it, my life just keeps getting stranger and stranger by the day. And I'm totally okay with it. It's fun. The weirder and stranger this all gets, it feels like I have more fun with it. As long as I grow in love and allow my mind to heal, everything will be fine. So that's kind of the way I see it lately. It's pretty wild when you're on your own path. You kind of experience a lot of things you can't explain to other people. But to you on the inside, it was worth it. And you know what's going on. You know where you're headed and what you're doing. It's always nice to slow down and kind of reflect, on your individual story here. But I always like to show both sides of things, right? So on the other hand, if you join the herd and deny individuality, then your experiences will not be so unique. You'll experience what you expect. You were already given all the answers as a child. You just need to keep repeating them until they become true. Becoming hardened within oneself, unable to flow with new ideas or new realities. The herd wanders through life like a dog on the devil's leash. The leash has always been optional, but they're too afraid to take it off now. And I got a good illustration of this with a tarot card, the devil. The devil, or those that lived before you, they can't tighten that leash too much or it would choke you. So it's loosely placed around your neck, and you get to choose if you want to wear it or not. Seems like the leash life is becoming less popular as time goes on. Slowly but surely, even the boomers are starting to question their authorities, the ones authoring their life. I just want you to pause and take all this in. It does seem like truth is finally making a difference. And even if it's a tiny little difference, people are starting to ask a few more questions. Hey, something's happening. If not on the world stage, the truth seems to be moving through each of us individually. In the past 5 years, almost all I know has changed. I've had a hard time sitting back and doing nothing nowadays. I'm in the middle of building a cabin, so I always have something I could be working on. I also feel like I have a lot of answers to the world's problems. So I'm always like overthinking how I could fix these problems that are out of my control. I'm sure I'm not the only one who does this. But you just feel like if somehow you could do some magical things to set everything straight, and then you could relax, and everything would kind of flow. But we're not there yet, and you just need to flow anyway. Even if everything is upside down and inverted, you know, you still gotta have your own rhythm, your own flow here. So I was saying it's hard for me to just sit back and do nothing. So I also work a 9-to-5 job, you know. So I always feel like there's something I need to be doing, or I need to make it a money. I need to be working on the cabin. I need to be helping fix the world. I don't know. It's one of those things. My mind spins me in all directions. I've chosen to be a creator. So it's my fault that I'm spun in all these directions and I care about these certain things. I'm not saying, oh, woe is me. It's just I need to deal with these things, right? I've chosen to be a creator, and this just leads to endless possibilities and endless mental chatter sometimes. So this talk today is about slowing down. Slowing down the mind so the heart can experience what's happening around you. My mind still gets ahead of the heart and causes me to get twisted up sometimes. But I'm getting better at healing the mind. Heal the mind, you know. I had a talk a few videos ago about healing your mind, just shutting it off, stopping it from running wild. And then in this talk, I'm kind of saying, you know, shut the mind off so the heart can think, so the heart can experience what's going on around you. We just let our minds fly so quickly into the future of what we're trying to build, the future we want right here, right now. And you just don't give your heart enough time to even take in what it is to be. So that's what this talk is about, slowing it down. Don't need to rush to another idea so quickly. Simply put, sometimes you just need to slow down and smell the flowers. You're on a long journey and you need some rest sometimes. If you do psychedelics, then you've probably heard of the term integration. Basically, like after you have a mushroom trip or some powerful psychedelic experience, you need time to take in what happened. Integration or reflection is needed after a great epiphany or life-changing experience. Oh, can't forget I got the coffee sitting there. No need to run off to another experience when you're still trying to make sense of what happened. You know, it's like I guess I kind of jump from idea to idea sometimes, and I think I know something, and I get really just overworked about it, and I can't get my mind off of it sometimes. And it kind of, you just spinning your wheels sometimes, because it's kind of like you've gotten the information you need to have. You just need to sit back and digest it, you know, integrate it into your life. Slow it down. You know, maybe you have the answers It's just you passed it up because you're flying on to something else. You're too in a rush to get all the answers that you flew by the one you've been looking for. So I really wasn't sure what I was going to talk about this week, because I just like to talk about what I'm thinking about, what's happening currently, and I was like, man, I don't know, after diving into the Gnostic teachings and kind of having this idea that I'm in my home right now, and I don't have to be saved, or I don't have to do anything to kind of be loved or be, what I'm supposed to be. It's like you already are what you are. You're already in your home. You're already doing what you're meant to be doing. You just kind of need to sit back and take those ideas in, I think. So it's kind of like I don't have anything really new to talk about. And I feel like a lot of the things I get into, it's stuff from the past anyway. It's not like I'm making any of this stuff up. I'm just applying it to my life. And just trying to be as honest with everybody, how it goes for me. And I've mentioned it in my previous videos about slowing down and how I get that message a lot. So I figured this would be a great opportunity to talk about it. And what we got, a 3-day weekend. A lot of people probably got Monday off, or they might have today off. But it's a Memorial Day weekend. Remember the murderers. Memorialize them. It's like, I don't know. I would just have fun with my time off, and I wouldn't congratulate any murderers for what they do. So, constant distractions in this age keep us from reflection or integration of our experiences. After discovering the Gnostic teaching, I have realized I need to integrate this idea into my life and allow it to take its time. This integration cannot be forced instantly. It's not an instant coffee or an instant meal you can just put in the microwave. Like, everything's instant nowadays. And the more you slow down, take in your journey and the quest you've been on and where you're going, the instant stuff just isn't really worth it when you really think of the long journey you've had, and the triumphs and the wins, the losses, the ups and downs, the all arounds. It's kind of fun being patient and slowly seeing these things unravel, because having things instantly, it's here and it's gone. That's kind of the problem with our instant gratification society, is you really can't cherish it. It's like it's used up and it's done. There's not a long, low, and slow enjoyment of it. And I think I've been pretty fortunate, because I grew up on 80 acres in the woods in Missouri. I was able to run around as a kid and just play in the woods. And before I got addicted to video games and computers, I was able to be outside and have a slower pace with nature, before I got hooked into modern society and all of its fast ways. And I know a lot of people don't even have the woods in their life. They grow up in a city like sardines in a can or something, stacked on top of each other. And things are just quick and fast. And it's all about this to that. it's about entertainment a lot when you live in the city and what's the new thing happening. It's not like you're sitting there watching a tree grow slowly and appreciating it. So I kind of feel like what slowing down means, you probably need to get out in nature if you truly want to slow down. You got to get away from all the hustle and bustle. So I was talking about the Gnostic teaching. It's almost like you need to try on these new ideas for a while, even to have an experience with it. The mind is only the author of the story. Your body and your heart need to experience the story you're writing in your head. So before you just use your head to spin off on, can't do that, can't go there, can't... Let your heart and your body experience stuff and make sure before you just shut everything off through the mind. And I'm not saying, like, do anything. It's like, obviously, don't go jump in the pit of fire. Don't set yourself on fire. Like, you could, think of things that you should not do. I think in a lot of social situations, where, don't say that thing. They're not going to like you if you bring up this point of view. If you really have something inside you to say and you feel like it's worth saying, say it. See what happens. Don't let your mind convince you otherwise, because I think a lot of people suppress how they really feel, and they kind of copy pasta what the common whatever is, and it's getting really lame to be a common person who just buys the propaganda. It's just, I don't know, I see it like, I think they're even realizing how lame they are by just repeating stuff constantly, and it's just, I think it's getting old, finally. I just hope it's getting old for people to join the herd. But you gotta let your heart and your body experience stuff, and not just let the mind act like you experienced it, or trick you into thinking you've experienced something. I know I'm not alone when I admit I have created fantasy after fantasy in my mind instead of just letting things unravel naturally. We're all guilty of fantasizing instead of just living it, letting us live. We fantasize constantly. Our minds are just running rampant in this age. And hopefully, as I slow my mind down, everybody else is slowing their mind down too. I think we all are connected in a lot more ways than we think. And so this is where the Hermetic principle of rhythm applies. So the Hermetic teaching of rhythm states that everything flows out and in. Everything has its tide. All things rise and fall. The pendulum swing manifests in everything. The measure of the swing to the right is the measure of the swing to the left. Rhythm compensates. So it's basically talking about music, almost. And if you look at your life, like you're some sort of composer, composing a song, and there's a rhythm to your life. There's a chorus. There are parts that you repeat, probably, about your song of the life you're having. But it's helping you realize, sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. You're never just in the same spot. That's the crazy thing about this creation and our lives. We try to stay in one spot and think like, this is the greatest thing. I'm living this way. I like it like this. and all of a sudden it'll be gone. And you'll be down, and you'll be like, oh no, I didn't want to do this. Oh, this is terrible, this spot I'm in. And then time goes on, and you're back up to where you wanted to be. And it just almost seems like you had to have that low to get back to the high. There is a rhythm to our lives. You know, it is like a song being played. And sometimes, like, the sounds clash and don't sound good in your life. You know, so it's like, at that point, slow it down. Tune your instruments. You know, tune things around you to be more peaceful. So that everything kind of flows and fits together. You know, it's just about having a rhythm. And I'm really talking about tapping into, like, the rhythm of the earth, or just the rhythm of things around you, instead of, it's like what Bruce Lee says when he talks about water, and how water can flow, or water can crash. So, you always want to be flowing with the rhythm of the age you're in, or the place you're in. You do not want to crash up against things. You want to pick up on the rhythm around you and flow with it. And if it's not the rhythm you like, somehow avoid it. Like, it doesn't mean you have to crash up against the rhythms that you don't like, because it'll make a bad sound. You know, at those times, you might go silent and go around it. And you don't have to ram everything head on, you know, that you don't agree with. I hope I'm making sense. I know it's a lot of word salad analogy stuff, but I think it makes sense. If there is a rhythm to our lives. It seems like our lives have a certain rhythm to them. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down, other times you're riding the wave without even noticing. In life, the downs are just as important as the ups. You'll probably learn more from losing than winning all the time anyway. Just because you had a bad week does not mean next week will be the same. There are a lot of surprises and unforeseen outcomes on the way. Basically, all I'm trying to say is chill out. Take a chill pill. Wish these mayflies would chill a little more. One just bit me in the eyeball. It was really rude. It's all about slowing down the mind so the heart can feel. Just gotta slow it down just enough. It's kind of like you gotta get your head behind the heart. You gotta let the heart lead instead of letting your head lead you. You know, and just having the heart in the background in the back of the truck kind of locked away. I like to say, you know, the heart knows what the mind could never know. So, it's really what this talk is about. You gotta slow it down. Slow down the mind so the heart can experience. Be patient. Don't try to speed through life. If your desires don't manifest, try a different route. Don't get down on yourself. And it seems like the best things in life take a long time to get to. You know, they take a while. find your pace, find your rhythm, slow it down. Enjoy yourselves. I love you.